Well, good evening, everybody. It's day 52 of my carnivore diet. For anyone who's coming back to the channel, you'll notice that I've changed the branding. I finally came up with a name that I liked, and so we're now Steak Insanity. And if you say it quickly, it sounds like Steak Insanity, which is quite a fun play on words as well, I think. But I anyway, I like the name. Hopefully, everybody else likes it too, and it might make it a little bit easier just to remember. And anyway, it's a better brand, and I like it, so I hope everybody likes it as well. Numbers for today. Yeah, still backsliding on the weight a little bit. I have watched some videos actually by Dr. Baker, and where he talks about people over 40 actually struggling and really going up and down and not to worry about it, particularly the older you get, kind of the more plateaus you'll sort of see. So that made me feel a little bit better. He said, really the only people that just will start the weight loss and kind of just peel the weight off are, sort of men between 20 and in their 20s and 30s. And, women will struggle and older people will struggle because the bodies are different and the hormones are different and the way everything works is different. So he's like, you haven't really reached a plateau until it's been a month. And so it's only been about 10 days, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Good sleep last night, 7 hours basically. I did 8,000 steps today, which was good. I was in London, and I'm going to come on to that in a minute. Yeah, so everything was pretty good. Yeah, all the macros look good. My foot I felt better today. Anybody who's been watching knows I've been struggling the last few days because I went for that. I went for the run on the weekend and sort of did my legs in. My foot was feeling better. It still hurts, but not nearly as bad. So it's definitely on the road to recovery, and everything else is basically recovered now, which is good. It seems like maybe the diet might be helping with that because most normal people, and when I was younger, the recovery cycle was always you have a good workout, the next day you're sore, but then the next day, the second day, is always the worst day. But then that third day, you're sort of able to get back to it again. And recently, well, before Christmas anyway, anytime I had a big workout or anything like that, it's taken me like a week to recover. And it seems to me that it's getting a little bit quicker. I think I did some proper damage to my foot, which is more than just muscle soreness. I think I've torn something, which is why that's taking a little bit longer to heal, but it is getting better. So I think the diet's getting me back to the point where I can heal faster, which would make sense. I mean, with the amount of protein that I'm eating, and I do think that having a few carbs would probably help with that as well. If I did have a little bit more energy, even from, I don't know, even from natural sources, as long as it's unprocessed. I haven't had any, but I think it would probably help, but I'm not going to have any. So I'm just going to crack on. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was what I found today. So as I was going to this event this evening, I was walking by and all I could smell was barbecue. And I was like, oh my God, that smells so good. So I popped in this restaurant just before the meeting and they had just a starter of burnt ends. So that's beef tips that have kind of been charred when they do the barbecuing. And oh, they were amazing. And it didn't have, so when I got them, I was a little bit concerned about the sauce that it might have on it and what might be in that. But they didn't have like a traditional, like a really sweet barbecue sauce or anything like that. It was literally the burnt ends and it had a little bit of chimichurri sauce on it. And there was a teeny bit of oil and a couple of some basic spices and stuff and some peppers and things like that. And I scraped most of it off anyway. So even if, whatever I did get wasn't that much. But that's not really the point. The point is that I really need to get back to like smoking and doing a lot more of that, because I think that would be a really good way, because I could do like a pork shoulder or something, and I could have loads and loads of nice fatty meat to eat, and I could do beef. I'm from Memphis though, and Memphis is pork barbecue. We don't do beef barbecue, we do pork. And proper barbecue in the South is pork barbecue. I know Texas does beef barbecue, but they're only kind of Southerners. Um, People who are from the deep South, we all do pork barbecue. We'll eat beef, but we prefer pork. Anyway, that's probably going to kick off a massive argument in the comments, and I'm okay with that. I will stand by that assertion. But but yeah, I've been doing basic, unless I have a really nice steak, I've just sort of, put stuff under the broiler or whatever, and just kind of I just cook it as a eating has become a maintenance activity instead of something fun. And I really need to get back to finding some way that I can, do some more cooking and make some sauces or have some spices or some find a way to make something that's not going to be too off the diet adjacent, um, but that has some flavor and stuff. So I'm gonna work. I'm not actually fantastic at doing like the barbecue and stuff, but ironically, I have a friend over here who's English and he is amazing. So I might get him to sort of, I might work with him a little bit and see if he can help me get better at it. And, but yeah, I think that would really help. So that's not going to be anytime soon, because I don't know if anybody's ever been to England in the wintertime, but it's cold and raining most days and it's miserable outside, and I don't really have anywhere to do it. But that's going to be something when spring comes and the weather starts getting nicer. I'm definitely going to get a smoker. I'm going to start smoking some meat. So that's going to be something fun to look forward to. I haven't really talked a lot about cooking or recipes or any of that stuff, because I don't really do anything special. Like literally there's nothing that I would want to talk about or show a picture of or really delve into. Um, but maybe some point, maybe if I do start doing some smoking and stuff like that, then I might, once I figure out how to do it, if I can get some really good recipes that are on carnivore, I'm sure there are some out there, and I'm sure some people can share some. And I will, as the time gets closer, I'll go and look for that myself and see if I can find some good recipes that fit. That's a whole other thing, but that's kind of not my thing. I'm not like a chef, and I don't really cook very well, so I don't know if I want to get into that. But if everybody wants to see that, then I could maybe be convinced. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. Pretty straightforward. Had a good day, stayed on the diet, got lots of steps in, and yeah, had a nice time. I'm still feeling good about myself. So even though the weight's been funny, um, yeah, I feel fine, and I don't feel like, anything particular is happening. I don't, my clothes are still fitting nicely and better, and so yeah. Anyway, I'm just waffling again. Sorry, I do this at the end because I have something kind of that I want to talk about, and then anyway. Good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.